How's everything?
Going good, going good. Today's afternoon is pretty busy, but this morning I'm pretty good.
Awesome, man. So we're going to wait till a few people jump in, but we're super excited for today's agency spotlight. I'm super excited to have you a part of this this training today because I know you're killing it in the agency space. We had a brief little talk, and man, you blew me away with all the things you're doing in your agency. So I'm super excited to have you on. I know a lot of people are excited for this. And so, yeah, man, I'm super excited for this and to get started and jump right into it.
Yeah, man, awesome. First, I just want to say thank you for having me here. DashClicks is phenomenal, man. It's completely changed how my agency is going, starting to try to automate different parts of my company. And I'm so grateful for that. Literally, DashClicks handles like half of the equation. You know what I mean? Like, and now that you guys have the Dash U, I mean, you're handling even more of the equation now at this point. So it is getting better and better.
Awesome, man. So, Joseph, just kind of to give everybody a little bit of a background about you, your business, just kind of give us a little bit about you, why you started your agency, as well as when you started your agency, so you can give everybody just a little bit of a background of your business.
It pretty much what I did was it began kind of in high school. Everybody, my whole family, I know I'm pretty sure a lot of people watching this is going to understand that, you know, you're kind of that techie guy in the family, you know, the one that gets on his computer. So I was that guy in my family, and everybody used to always ask me, my mom's family and friends, oh yeah, isn't your son like the computer guy who, you know, builds webs? Can you build me a web website? You know, just that was kind of a side hustle thing back during high school, you know, just have money so I can go out with friends. You know, I had my company name was still there, but it wasn't really registered or anything. It was kind of just there for just side money. But I think when it got to my senior year, I kind of understood that, you know, I wasn't really going to have the opportunities a lot of people that I knew was going to go to, you know, these big universities. I wasn't the smartest. You know, I'm pretty sure I would have applied myself, would have been smart, but to be honest, it just wasn't my thing. Went to community college, you know, and in that time I had this company, you know, I had it registered. And I think it was about 3 years ago when I started taking it really serious, you know, and at that point it just went from trying to, you know, taking courses. I remember I took the Untitled course back when it first started. The whole Here in My Garage thing. I took that, and that kind of opened up.
Who hasn't taken that course, right?
Huh?
Who hasn't taken that Tai Lopez course?
And that kind of just opened my eyes. You know, it didn't really answer all the questions, but kind of opened my eyes and kind of guided me to the right direction. You know, it's opened the door. So I'm like, okay, wait, I can do this. I can do that. And then, you know, I invested courses here and there. And ultimately, I would say, at the beginning of this year, I remember I joined Rob Quinn's group, and I saw you guys were promoting stuff on there, and I was like, holy crap, what is this? Like, this is revolutionary. Like, why? You know, I've heard of white label agencies before, but they all charge like $900 just to have them white label for you, and on top they have to pay whatever the service fees are for each service. And it was just like, why can't you just like let it be free, and then when they order the service, you charge for it, you know?
For sure.
So then that's when Dashless came in, and I was like, all right, boom. I went in, and all of a sudden, I onboarded 3 of my clients off the get go, and just recently, like yesterday, I bought like, it was like 3 or 4 different Google PPCs and 3 or 4 different, you know, Facebooks. So I'm trying to upsell all my other clients. So far at 23, about 3 of them, and I'm about to onboard the other 5. Slowly kind of transitioning towards, you know, DashClicks because I really want to get everything automated.
Awesome, man. I love the story there. And kind of just to give everybody a little bit of a context here about your background. What were you doing before you started your agency? So, you know, you said you kind of naturally fell into this, but before your agency, before all of that, what was your experience in? What were you?
That's a little bit weird, but I used to play competitive esports, you know, with the video gaming world, and that was kind of my my forte, whatever. You know, everybody's like, oh, that gamer, you know, computer guy, you know. So that's kind of, I've always been kind of like I used to always love computers, you know, just making money online and just finding ways to just, you know, because what computer is just, you can make millions of ways to make money online. I mean, you make money online, you know, by selling rocks through the internet, you know, like to landscapers. You know, you can make money up. The internet is like amazing, and that's kind of what opened my eyes to this. And I mean, of course, me being in my home all day, on my computer playing video games all day, you know, I would get retargeted with those, you know, Tai Lopez ads and all stuff all the time, and that kind of moved me towards a different avenue.
So when you talk about competitive video games, you were like, what were you doing? You were getting paid to play, or were you getting paid to teach others to play? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, so we would travel around to different, they're called LANs, local area network events, like a gaming tournaments pretty much, Hollywood, definitely Hollywood, LA, Florida, Columbus, Atlanta, New York, Texas, Austin, you know, Dallas, and the whole 9 yards. And we would get paid mainly, you know, again, in tournaments, you know, you win, you know, a couple $100 here, a couple $1,000 here. Some major tournaments, you win 50 grand, 100 grand. So it just depends on, you know, how good you are. That's how you get paid, pretty much how good you are, how many events you win, how big your fan base is, you know. So if you do stream on the side on like Twitch and stuff like that, they can donate to you. You know, it just, you know, capitalizing on that opportunity, you know. But unfortunately, you know, when I was in it, it wasn't really that developed yet. The whole scene wasn't really developed. Now it's pretty huge now. Now it's very developed, very organized. So, you know, unfortunately, you know, I kind of had to retire. A bunch of 16-year-olds came in and took my spot. So that's why I decided to go this route. And I mean, thank God I took this route because I'm making a lot more money than I would have.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think from that experience too, you learned a lot about networking and
definitely
building teams, right? Because you can't be
working as a
video
team
games without
100%.
being able to, you know, collaborate with the team appropriately, right? I mean, you can't
100%.
win a game without being on the same page with your team. So that's awesome because now you're bringing that experience into the agency space.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It just makes it that much easier to run, you know, a team, bring on your employees and do things like that.
Yeah, because then you understand how a team basis work and how a team should work.
How to communicate.
Definitely, and how to communicate, you know, how to make sure, how to solve problems, and how to obviously, you know, not get things get the best of you and think things more logically in the back end, you know, not letting the ego get the best of you, I would say.
For sure, man. I love it. And another thing too about teams is like, you know, that each team member is a specialist at one thing. It may be that you may be the specialist at carrying the bomb if we're talking about video games. Yeah. The other guy is good at protecting the base, and the other guy is good at, you know, coming around the corner. So it's like building a team that way back in video games. If you translate it back into the agency world, it's like, you know, you got the guy who's doing fulfillment, and then you got your sales team, and you got your prospect.
Definitely.
Each person has their own role, which intertwined together creates what you call a business, right? Yeah,
an agency at that point, you know. And I see a lot of people definitely first getting into thinking they can do everything. They can do the graphics, they can do the copywriting, they can do the targeting. I mean, at this point, you know, at one point, you know, you get to 3 or 4 clients. I mean, you're busy all day, and that's your cap, right? That's your cap, and it's like, you can't go past any further. So, I mean, it's all about finding how to build a team. And obviously DashClicks solves that entire issue instead of trying to find this person, try to find that person, you know, so.
And more importantly too, on top of that, just to add, is like finding what your strength is in.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Is your strength in fulfillment? Is your strength in sales? Is your strength in what is that strength in? So you can maximize 100%. That and then plug in the gaps. So I love it, man. So you mentioned, I heard you say you're about around 20 clients. How many clients are you currently servicing right now?
We have 23 clients. Currently, I would say, here, let me put up my sheet. I think about around 10 of them are like medical spas and kind of like the health and wellness industry, like medical spas, normal day spas, massage parlor, things like that. And then I would say 5 or 6 of them are like real estate agents, and the rest of them are in the financial niche, you know, merchant cash advance, credit repair, business loans, you know, small business loans. What else? We have car loans, personal loans, mortgage loans, things like the kind of the financial industry. And that's kind of where I'm trying to tailor my industry now next, kind of niching it down. We actually built a complete separate oddity to my agency that only specializes with financial marketing. So whenever I do get a financial marketing agency, I say, hey, you know what? We actually have a special department that specializes in you. So
boom, love it, man. So you're creating almost like a special offer for those in the financial industry, so you create more value. And it's not like I'm the generalist marketer. I do have a proprietary program specifically for you.
Yeah.
Hear more about it. Check it out.
Because the riches are in the niches, you know?
100%, man. Love it. So right now, give or take, Joseph, what's your average reoccurring revenue right now with the total amount of clients that you have?
It hovers between 20 and 26.5, around there, 20, 26.5, depending on, you know, if I onboarding clients, some clients might leave, sometimes might pause this month, you know. So it's hovering between 20 and 25, I would say, about 23 in the medium. So.
Awesome, man. And right now you mentioned a few different niches. So you mentioned the financial niche, you mentioned the med spa niche. Talk to us about a little bit about what niches you picked and then why you picked those niches. Yeah. So just kind of give, because just to kind of give you a little background, a lot of people struggle with picking a niche. And the second thing is like, all right, now that I pick a niche, is it right for me, or should I try other niches? Or like, what thought process, you know, did you come up with to pick your niches? And then now ideally picking a specialty, which in the financial niche for you is that choice. Like, how did you come about coming to that conclusion?
Well, when I first started off, of course, I started off kind of general because I honestly didn't really know. Like, I like cars and all that stuff, but dealerships not. Like, I didn't have the network or like the case study testimonials to do it. So what I thought, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna write down all the niches that I would like to work with, and obviously aren't super saturated, because obviously you don't want to go into an industry that you're already gonna know you're gonna die. When you go in there, go in industry, pick a niche in there, and I just found out, I'm a car guy. I like money too, so I kind of written it down, and ultimately none of those worked out in my favor. But what I did find out was, even though I was taking on everybody, the medical spas and the financial niche was the ones I got the best results for. So I said, you know what? Let me actually, dig into this. I'm double down on what you're good at, double down on what's working. So that's kind of what I felt, what I did by, and now is just every time I get a financial client, it's pretty much guaranteed results every single time. So I'm willing to, tell, some clients like, hey, we'll do a rev share if you want. I don't care. I'll make way more money with the rev share, and then 2 months later down the line, they'll be like, Joseph, can we do a flat rate now,
Yeah.
So it's like, it gets to that point. But I mean, it just kind of finding out what you're good at, of course, starting out with what you want. And then if that works out, great, stick with it. If it doesn't, just see what works out. And then when it works out, dig down and see why it works out and just dig deep and keep going with it.
So let's just go back in time real quick to when you first started out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Picking that initial niche, what was your thought process behind going after them, and how did you go about going after them, knowing that this is like a hit or miss kind of thing, not knowing if you were going to get them as a client or not? How did you have the confidence to go out and pursue a niche that in your mind wasn't saturated? How did you get yourself to do that? Because I think a lot of people are struggling with the thought of, oh, they're going to say that I need 50 testimonials or this or that. And it's like, guys, if you're just upfront with them and clear and transparent, like,
definitely.
The business owner can understand, like at one point in their business, they were just starting out as well. And as well as, they had to build their client base with time. But like a lot of people are doubting themselves, right? And even though they know everything that they need to give this business owner get them results, they're still doubting themselves when it comes to actually committing to pursuing a niche. So what would you give advice on that?
Honestly, I feel a lot of people that are in the industry are in that kind of realm is people who are fairly new starting off, because they've gotten nothing but no's, and I feel they haven't really closed a real client yet. And once you close that real client, you'll quickly understand, wow, was it really that easy? Like, because it's weird. It's like you get to the point where all of a sudden you have somebody pay you $5,000 and you're like, what? And then all of a sudden somebody else pays you that and you're like, wait, hold on. Like, it's not that hard to ask for more than $1,500 a month, and most businesses can afford that. And it just trying to get that realm of, because I would say most people in that industry are obviously not in the, weren't born in a wealthy family, weren't born, so they don't understand, that there's a lot of people out there that can afford a lot of money to solve a big problem,
They're thinking with their pockets, right?
Yeah, you're thinking with their pockets, and that's how exactly I was in the beginning. I was like thinking that more than $1,000 a month was a lot, but I mean, now getting to even beat me right now, dude, I spend more than $1,000 a month on just software.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and if somebody tells me, hey, pay me $1,000 a month and I can produce you $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 in revenue, I would give them $1,000 a day. It's kind of like a virtual.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer
At that point.
Yeah, if you're gonna bring your business owner thousands and thousands of dollars in ROI, right? Because investing this amount of money is gonna give me in return this amount of business.
Yeah.
Like they calculate their lifetime value of each new customer, and that surpasses 10x the investment that they paid the marketing agents.
Yeah, definitely. I completely understand. Like even if solving a problem, like it might not even be like let's say you're in a completely different industry. You're not in the digital marketing industry. If you can solve a problem for somebody, and whether it's solving it with time or with money, either one. I mean, there's probably people that make $1,000 an hour and they don't want to waste their time on doing some graphic stuff, so they pay another company out there, and they're more than willing to pay you your decent salary because they'll literally lose money for doing it themselves.
Exactly. Yeah.
And when you get to those big medium-sized enterprises, corporate-sized enterprises, I mean, they got big pockets because they got big problems to solve. And if you can solve those, I mean, you're just going to be raking in with cash.
So just to kind of give some people some clarity as well, when you first started out, how many times did you reach out before someone actually gave you their trust? Before they gave you, like, was it a one-time shot? You went out to your first business owner and they closed to you right on the spot? Or was it 2 times that you did it? Like, how many times, think about when you first started, how many times did you actually go out and ask somebody for business before you actually got your first got your feet wet in the agency world? When was that?
Let me tell you this one. So there was a good, about all of 2015 and 2016, it was just me kind of just thinking I'm a company, but yet not going out and doing anything, kind of just hoping that somebody came to me through a referral or whatever, but never really doing anything out there. And then when I started taking it seriously about 3 years ago, about the first 6 months, like I would go around, I used to live in Palm Springs, and I used to go down to the downtown area and just walk into the businesses and just pitch it there. Send them give them my business card or whatever. And I mean, I would say for a good 6 months, like I got nothing back. I would get people calling me, but then like after I send a proposal, whatever out there and waste my time, talking back and forth, they'll just ignore me, ghost me. And it just got to the point where I'm like, dude, what am I doing wrong? And that's when I started thinking, like, you know what? Let me just invest in myself and find out and learn from other people who've been through me and, see what they did. And, thank God I did that, and started investing in myself, buying courses, looking up to other people who already have what I want and seeing how they got there.
So just to kind of give people clarity there. Yeah. So to give people clarity there, it took you 6 months to hit a breakthrough thought process and perspective change, right? Yeah. Where it was like, 6 months just passed. I haven't gotten any results, any traction. Like there is something here that I'm missing. There's some information that I don't know. And now I realize that I need to go out and find what that is in order to actually pass over this obstacle, which 6 months is a long time.
Yeah. And
a lot of people go out and reach out to people and they try out for a week or two with a script. They don't get any results. And now all of a sudden, they take it personal. Like, I suck. I'm not good enough. I'm not capable. Maybe I should go do e-commerce. Maybe I should go,
That's when people usually quit. It's like, have you tried all your outlets? You know what I mean? And, it's like basic information I didn't know of, like creating a value ladder, basic information like that would have graciously helped me a lot, and got quicker results. And I think I would say after the first 2 months of me joining into, I think it's Billy Wilson, his course, I closed my first client and I was like, wow, was it really that easy? And I just followed a proof system that works, and it just worked. And I was like, wow, wasn't that hard.
Yeah, 100%, man. So a lot of the times it's just, when you're in that position, it's not you the problem. It's because you don't have an effective enough strategy.
Yeah.
And that's where you would then need to reach out, whether it's joining something like DashU to, learn this from you, right? Learning from your own mistakes, so that they don't have to go through that 6 months of basically no clients, right? So just learning this
doesn't take you years and years to learn all of it,
100%, man. And we make it a lot easier, obviously, for agency owners to get success, because the hardest part, which is the fulfilling, is done for you, right? So the only puzzle you need to crack is how to get access to business owners, how to communicate with them, how to get express, an offer where it makes sense for them to invest in.
Yeah.
And the third thing is how to keep quality customer service. It's just you becoming the point of contact and making sure that you're always there for them, making sure everything is running smoothly. So, man, it's such a great thing to hear that from you now that you're at 23 clients, because what people don't realize is that we all start in the same place.
Yeah.
We all start not knowing. We all start failing. We all start thinking we're not good enough.
To fail. Like if you think you're going to come in any business and think you're not going to fail, I don't think business is for you. You're going to get 1,000 before you get one yes. And it just takes that one yes to break through. Let's say that one yes is a $25,000 retainer. You know what I mean? Like it's just takes one thing to change or a domino effect. That's all it takes is one yes.
And then my favorite thing is like once you do get that yes, think about how you feel because of all the times you doubted yourself in the past. It's definitely. Like, oh my God, I almost quit 15 times. Now I just got a yes. It's like, that wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
It's like, what was that's 6 months of stress, because you got to think about it. If 6 months passed, that means you made no money. That means you're in there grinding your gears, not sleeping correctly, probably not eating right, probably not hitting the gym. Like you're so frustrated because you're just like, you're thinking that you're not good enough once again. So you're just like figuring out like what you're trying to figure out what you don't know.
Yeah.
So you don't know what you don't know. And if you go that route,
out there who knows something that you don't, and you just got to go out there and find, it literally just as simple as a Google search would solve an issue for you, like how to find clients. It's like, well, instead of asking and posting group, it'd be great. Maybe just looking up a YouTube video or something, Google, and then just people don't understand that they have so many resources out there to get free knowledge back at you,
100%, or finding someone who's doing it.
There you go. Or finding a mentor or a course or something that's actually worth your time investing into.
It's as simple as a simple question. It's like, hey, I'm struggling to get clients. How do you get clients in your agency?
Definitely,
Whether you have to pay for their time or not, like they're going to give you 6 months worth of time in a sentence.
Yeah, definitely. And it's going to cut months off of your time in one little lecture module, you know? So I remember joining courses and just a simple sales script, like saved me months of just training or trying to figure out on my own, you know?
Yeah,
So
because from guessing every phone call, you went to having what? A structure.
A structure, a straight line to follow, you know?
Boom, boom, boom. Every time it was the same exact thing where you can almost predict the results, right? You literally can predict it to the point.
At this point, I know for every 10 calls I'm getting, 2 of them are going to be booked for a meeting, and another 2 are going to probably be sold on the phone. So it's just a numbers game at that point. I know your bottom line number, all right, at this point, how many clients you want at this point? You know what I mean? Like, once you get your bottom line number.
It's measurable.
Yeah,
so you can now literally multiply what you're currently doing, whether it's outreaches, whether it's demos, whether it's appointment settings, or whatever it is. You can just multiply that, and instantly that makes your income multiply as well, because now it's all structured in a system.
Yeah.
Love it, man.
It adds up.
So, Joseph, just to kind of give people just an idea of what services you offer, because you have 23 clients, so you know, and you have clients in different industries. So it's like people are probably wondering, like, okay, like how do you go out and get a client? What's the offer that you actually go out and offer them? What service is that? Just to give clarity, because people, they just to kind of give you a little background of what we see the most is we have agencies who go out and tell their clients that they can do everything: SEO, Facebook, Google, content marketing, the whole 9. And it's like, yeah, you have someone like DashClicks that can do the work for you, but you know, is it going to be the right fit solution for that client at that moment in time? So kind of walk us through what services you focus on to get your clients through the door, and why.
Well, first, what I usually like to do is, before I even consider like taking them on, I obviously have a discovery call, 15, 20 minutes, just to see if like, A, they don't violate any advertising policies on Google, Facebook, anything like that. And B, like, you know, I do competitor research, demographic research, and I make sure, knowing that before I even put them on of my fulfillment side, they're going to most likely get results. You know, I already have a correct ad budget. You know, they're not coming into, you know, they're not just like a realtor in the middle of Los Angeles with a $200 a month budget. You know, it's like, if I get a client like that, I'm going to tell them straight up, hey, you know what? It's not going to work out. You know, you might get one lead, but that one lead's going to be so crappy, like they're probably not even going to answer the phone. You know, so doing your proper due diligence before you even onboarding, having a good, I would say, discovery call and onboarding process, to know that by the end of that onboarding process, you already know that they're going to get results.
100%, man. A lot of people go straight for the kill. They go straight for the call. And guess what? They burn an hour of their time going through an entire presentation with someone who can't afford their service, and 2 is in a right fit, because they may not be equipped to handle leads. Maybe they don't have a front desk representative or someone who can handle the phone calls all the time coming from a cold traffic campaign. So it's like,
you got to qualify them.
Why don't people qualify before burning an hour of their time? Yeah.
And that's the first thing. It's like, it's like selling the pen, you know, like, sell me this pen. Well, the first thing you got to ask is, how long have you been in the market for a pen?
Exactly.
You know,
it's like, are you even in the market for a pen right now? Like,
like it's just simple questions like that. They can just eliminate like half an hour of your meeting. You know, ask them, do you have a certain sales process? You know, oh, you do? Great. Well, what do the leads go to? What does that look like? You know, just so I get as much information as possible, so it makes it look like I know the business inside and out. So I know exactly who the leads go to, when they go to the leads, you know, when to turn on and off the ads. You know, I know exactly, you know, all about their business to make sure that they're getting the best results as possible.
Not only that, but in that qualifying call, you also figure out if your client is going to be a crazy one or not.
Oh, yeah. You know, there can be like the microphone.
You know, if they're going to freaking rip your ear off or not, like in that call. And that's the power of being in control, right? Yeah. Being able to say no to someone you don't feel like you're going to be a good fit working with. And that's why qualification calls are so powerful and they're so important. Because if you're here, the agency that's saying yes to everybody, you know, you're going to have crazy clients. You're going to have clients you can't get results for, and you're going to have clients that are going to take up a lot of your time because you don't have a proven system for them. And so it's so important to do that call. So what we call this is a 2-call close. The first call is the qualification call, right? Where that call lasts how long? It's no longer than like 5 or 6 minutes.
15 minutes, like 15 minutes, like max, like
right.
Necessary questions, and move on to the onboarding call where you close them, take the payment, onboard. I mean, so by the time they get off that call, that's it. Like within a few days, a week max, ads are running live. So
I think that's a huge takeaway for everybody watching is that, guys, if you're out there, pitching your services through a direct message or, in a person event, or you're talking to someone in person, you're right there and then telling them everything you do and what you do it and how you do it. And you haven't even asked them if it's going to be a right fit, or if they're even in business, or if they're even in the market to grow their business, right? If they're even in that mode, right?
Yeah.
If they're in that mode, that means they have the people to handle the volume. They also have the systems and the sales processes and everything, the follow-up. And you get me? Like, there's a business owner A who has all that, and then there's business owner B that he thinks he has all that, but when you ask him these questions, it's like, no, you don't have all those things. So it's like, there might be a better solution for you right now than working together with me.
Definitely.
Maybe we can talk about that instead of this other thing, because I think it's going to be a better fit.
Yeah, let's solve this issue first. You realize the actual underlying issues on why they're not generating leads. It's not, maybe they'd be like, oh, we get leads, but yet they're not answering the phone or anything like that. Well, do you have any email drip campaigns? Do you have like a auto texting? Do you have any CRM that you can put them into a sales CRM? Oh no, we just have a guy who calls them. And it's like, they call them 1 or 2 times and it's like, that's it. They don't even leave voicemails. And it's like, let's worry about the sales things first before we start generating a lead, because if you don't have this, you can't have this.
100%, man. So talk to us about the services that you start your business, your clients with. What's that initial offering, and what is that first thing that you approach them with?
So usually all the leads like I get, or all leads that come to my site, my funnels, whatever, I always pre-qualify them and ask them so I can get an understanding of like what their business is, what their revenue is. If they do have a marketing budget, what is that, And usually most of the times, clients never really want to reveal that. But I always try to get it out of them like, hey, you know what? Listen, we don't do a la carte. We work with budgets. Sorry, what's a ballpark range when we can work with? And I create a package around that. And when I usually ask that, they really don't budge that anymore. They're like, oh, it's $1,500 a month or $2,000, or I like to keep it under 500 or whatever. And at that point, then I understand, okay, where they're at. And that's where I start them off of it. So if it's like the $1,500 range, all right, great. So around that range, we have this: Facebook ads, Google ads. We do like to have between a $500 and $1,500 ad budget to start off with. So I start them off where they want. And if they can't afford it, then I move them down. Maybe, you know what? Let me offer some SEO. Let's start off small and start building up, but because I have a range of services that any business can afford. So it's just getting to, where you're at, so we can start there and keep moving forward and put them up and move them up your value ladder.
So you basically qualify them based on budget, and then based on that budget, you're going to right fit them into a service that you feel is appropriate.
Yeah, I'll find whatever the best is. Like if it's a roofer, of course, I'm not going to offer them Facebook. I'm offer them, Google and SEO, because that's the majority of people are looking at them, of course. Same thing with directory listings, Yelp, Yellow Pages. Home Advisor. Those things are huge. All those, because that's where people find you. People go to Yelp all the time to find restaurants, home contractors, handyman. If you're offering a service, Google's like the best way. And of course, if it's an e-commerce store, we do Facebook instead, maybe some social media posting, so, I make sure I tailor the package around what they're going to need. So
here's the thing here that I get a lot, right? An agency comes to me and they say, hey, Angel, I have a client who has a budget of $250. I'm thinking about offering him, like social media postings to start getting him leads through the door. Yeah. How would you approach that, and what would you say to that if that was the conversation that you had?
I would mention, well, why do you think that? Why ask him what was his thought process around that, and then ask him, all right, well, let's take a step back and look in a third person and see what service is going to best benefit them around that. It's going to be SEO, it's going to be your social media posting. There's multiple different services around that $300, under $300 range that you can get. You can get content marketing for their blog. Let's see which route is the best one to take. Mm-hmm. Logically, not just what you think, but logically, because a lot of times, especially in dropshipping stores, people think there's going to be a winning product. In reality, it's like some random little like fidget spinner in the back end that nobody would have thought of, Yeah. So it's up to the market. It's never up to you. So you got to do your research and, trust your numbers, not your gut. That's what I always go by,
Another thing too, that I think would really help everybody is also being aligned with the business owner himself, like understanding what his intention or what his ideal outcome is going to be, right? Because think about this, like most business owners come up to a marketer, say, hey, here's my budget. Here's what I want to do here. I want to grow my business. And ideally what they're saying, no matter how you approach it, is I need more money in my pocket.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
It doesn't matter how they approach it, whether it's I need my website done, I need this, I need that. Like at the end of the day, all they're saying is I need more money in my pocket right now. So if I pay you X, I should get Y with a return on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Doesn't matter if Joseph sits there and flips signs in front of my business. As long as it's going to give me a return, I don't care what he does.
Yo, definitely.
So it's just easier for a business owner to say, hey, Joseph, I need a website for $350, rather than saying, hey, Joseph, I only have $350 because my business is going, it's trending to lose money every month and I'm losing clients left and right. Like, Joseph, if I don't get a client right now, I'm going to go out of business.
Yeah.
That's hard to say. Like,
yeah, that's hard to say. Usually in businesses like the economy, that obviously in the pre-qualifying questions, because when you go into this, you kind of understand what questions you need to ask, and you kind of understand, because you get a bad client one time that's a kind of a failing business, but you still take them on anyways because you want the money, but you realize that they're a failing business because of other reasons, not just because they can't produce leads. Maybe it's because they have piss poor customer service. Maybe because this is an auto maintenance, BMW maintenance, for what's called a mechanic shop.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I went in there and I heard one of the owners talking to the guy. He was so rude and just like, no, you need this. No, this is how much. And I'm just like, hold on, we got to fix other issues. It's not just generating leads. We got to fix other issues. So
yeah,
that's huge.
And 9 out of 10 businesses, they don't really even have a lead problem.
Yeah.
They have a sales process problem.
Sales problem. Yes. They can't even close the door,
So it's like, even if I were to generate 100 leads for your business and your closing percentage is 1%, like, you're going to blame me for everything. And in reality, it's your fault.
Piss poor leads,
So that's one thing that a lot of agencies really need to take home is, guys, when you're out there approaching services or businesses about your marketing, you got to understand that you're going to have to solve a bigger problem that isn't just the leads thing. So that's where the qualification process comes in, where it's like, do you have someone in place that can handle an influx of business all the time? And they're going to be right there on the phones to handle that follow-up, right? Have you ever done a cold lead generation campaign in the past? Are you used to that type of traffic coming in? They don't know, like, or trust you yet. So your team needs to be prepared for that, right? Definitely. And so the difference between someone hiring an agency that's just going to do leads and then someone who's going to solve that entire problem is the agency that solves the entire problem is going to keep that client for months and months and months. Because the agency who just does the leads, guess what? After the first month, they're going to be like, you know what, Joseph? Your leads suck. You suck. Yeah. Your marketing sucks. Your 100 leads don't mean anything to me. You're fired.
Yeah, you found those other issues. Like, how about this? Let's say, do you use any CRMs? Like, oh, no, what's a CRM? Cool. Let me actually show you this. Okay, this does an automatic email sequence follow-up. Leads text, voicemail drops as well. So, and all of a sudden that 1% closing rate goes to 8%. And then next month, 14%. They're like, oh, my gosh, it's working.
And think about this. Like, let's say you run it for a month, right? And you let them run their sales process the way they do it, and you let them test it. You give them a test. But in your case, as an agency, you have all the protocols set up in place so you could justify that it's not you, it's them. In this case, what I mean is
recording software,
all recordings, boom,
everything. I've had clients tell me, "Oh, the leads aren't good." I'm like, "All right, no problem. Let me go back and listen to the calls." And I'm like, "Oh," they're like, "Oh, they recorded?" And I'm like, "Yeah, look, it's in the service agreement. Can you not see here?" Like, "Oh, it is."
Explain this call, Mr. Business.
And all of a sudden, you put up a call, and then the guy's like, the prospect is saying, "Oh, you know what? I was thinking about joining the gym, but my wife just gave birth a month or two ago, and I'm just waiting until she's ready." And then the guy's like, "Oh yeah, no problem. Call me when you're ready." I'm like, you could have said 2-for-1 deal. Be like, "Oh, awesome, you have your wife. Well, how about this when she, like both of you, we do a bundle for both of you. You can do this as a family. We have a child care little play area. And it's like
100%. Another thing too, it's like you call, they don't answer. It's like, oh, they're dead. They're not a real person.
Yeah, they're looking for the 2% of people who are rated by right now. Like,
or that are literally sitting next to their phone waiting for you to call. Like,
ding,
hello. It's like, guys, people have a life. People are human. Yeah. People also go on Facebook during their break at work because if not, they're not making money, right? Because they all work 9 to 5. So, guys, the little time that you have to actually do the follow-up is extremely important, because if you're not tracking everything that you're doing, right? Like reaching out to somebody at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If you don't have a status update that you've done that, you won't know that the next day, if you reach out to the same time, that person isn't going to answer the phone, right?
Yeah.
If you have the data that you called the day before at 2 p.m., they didn't answer, maybe try calling the next day at 5 after work.
Yeah. At different times,
It's like split testing. It's like split testing. And next thing you know, what's awesome about this is that because you are a professional, right? Because they initially requested info, they're going to appreciate you to reach out to them on time.
As a professional, as a doctor, it's like going to a doctor. Like you treat them.
Thank you so much, Joseph. Like I really appreciate you following up, man. I was so busy. I had my kids this weekend. Like I had no time. Like my husband, whatever, et cetera, whatever. Thank you so much. Let's do this.
Yeah, I mean,
let's set my appointment up.
Yeah, whenever somebody says no and things like that, I never take no as a no. I take no as in not ready right now.
Boom.
And it's like it's either yes or not ready right now. Because eventually every business needs marketing. I mean, you might call a new business right now. Obviously, they might be able to afford it, so they're going to say no. But guess what? Give it a year, and all of a sudden, or give it 6 months, 3 months, whatever it is, and all of a sudden they're doing 15, 20 grand in revenue. Now they can afford $1,500, $2,000, a month in revenue, and call them back, and all of a sudden like, oh. Thank you, Joseph. I've been waiting for your call. This month, we're actually ready to do this. Thank you for staying with me and being in front of me the past 6 months,
100% too. Another thing too is like if you track this stuff, like if you knew it took you 4 calls before you got the deal, now you have that as a number or a metric that you can kind of estimate everything else from, right? It's like, okay, I initially got in contact with this guy and then it took me 4 follow-ups, and that 4 follow-up, took me about a month, but I got the deal after that 5th follow-up. So now I can kind of roughly range if I put a sales guy on the phone and he gets in contact with somebody, now I can show them the data. Like, it took me about a month or so to close this deal from start to finish.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it gives you this thing to kind of, compare to versus kind of just thinking that I'm not good enough because. Yeah,
you have numbers, look at the numbers, trust the numbers, not your gut, your mind might be telling you this, that, but when you look at the numbers, like, wait, hold on, I have a 1% conversion rate. Okay, how can I improve that? Boom. 100%. Once you know how to solve that, all of a sudden goes to 4%, then 5%. All of a sudden, you're like, oh my God, this is working.
Boom.
So just actually digging deep and understanding your business and understanding how it works. Like look at the numbers. Everything's a numbers game, and then at that point, it's all about just optimizing your numbers game and trying to get as big as possible.
And that's why people take it personal because they don't know what's causing this thing. And so it's like if I don't see it in the numbers, it's like it's me.
Yeah,
I'm the
people
problem.
get the best of them. They think that they're perfect. Oh, I'm a perfect salesperson. I'm like, that's what I thought in the beginning, but guess what? I actually realized I sucked at sales, Yes. So, I mean, people don't understand what a real salesperson is until they either A, they get closed by a really good salesperson, like, wow, I'm not as good as I think I am. Or B, they realize it by not getting all these clients and they find their ego breaks down, like, all right, what am I doing wrong? After 2 years of you doing it and realizing that it's never your problem,
100%. So kind of just give everybody, what is your average like retainer for your marketing services initially for your,
So
your
I would
Facebook
say
ad service?
I mean, for the Facebook ad service, depending on obviously their budget, if they they have a $10,000 a month budget, then obviously I'm putting them on the plus side, on the bigger end package. But on average, most of my clients start off through kind of a lower tier service. I don't know. I remember I told you this, but I have a Fiverr account that I have with Seller. My business has a Fiverr account. And we mainly get a lot of, I would say, $500 to $1,000 mark a month clients. And pretty much what I would do is I would take advantage of this kind of this lucrative little area where a lot of people from Fiverr assume that, a lot of people that are from out of the country, so people don't like to deal with them. But then they see my listing on an American USA-based marketing firm, and then I'll just, mark it up a little bit, and I'll just outsource all that to people from Upworks. And then, in the next month or two, I'll upsell them to go from that $500 to $1,000 mark budget to $1,500, $2,000, and that's when I put them on their DashClicks.
Boom.
So it just starting them off small and just building up your value ladder. Starting off small, whether it's SEO, directory listings, posting, whatever it is, and just moving up your value ladder. The next bigger service, the next bigger service. All right, great. They think this is working for them. They like it. Move on to the next one. Whenever they're making more money, you always want to, get that bright idea, like, oh, great. Let's put some of that money back into the next service and the next service. And all of a sudden, you have going from a $500 a month client to a $5,000 a month client. And you're like, how do we get here? And it's just moving up your value ladder.
100%. So just to kind of give some clarity to what you just said to everybody watching. So what he basically does is he has an initial offering on Fiverr. Everybody knows about Fiverr. It's the $5 platform, but you can obviously offer different things for more money.
100, $200, yeah.
But ideally his top of funnel strategy is Fiverr, which is super unique. It's super cool. And then that basically starts the conversations for him, right? And so because they do their own advertising, Fiverr is able to basically bring him clients, right? He's just set up his profile. He optimized his profile, kind of like the video we talked about in the Facebook group earlier this week, but he optimized his profile on Fiverr. Now he looks like an expert marketer on Fiverr.
Yes,
people are requesting
videos,
to work with him.
Case studies, everything on there.
Boom, and they're giving him reviews. They're giving him testimonials. He's building his case studies. He's doing
kind of
all
like Amazon. Like you see all these reviews, all these, oh my God, he's level 2 seller, 60 5-star reviews, like all these review people, all these proof, social proof. And they're like, all right, this person, I would much rather spend an extra $200-300 on this person because he's from America and he has everything that I want, rather than this person who has offers a little bit cheaper, but yet they might not speak my language. They might understand my culture, my offer, because they don't live down here, so they understand what, a barbecue restaurant is because they never had one down there, so then they go to me and then I just take that and then just hire that person over here and just pocket the rest, so.
What you're saying is it's very important to set up your profile to basically reflect
yourself.
What you are, what you do, where you're from, because people really take that serious. And they would rather hire someone they fit with by, reading that description and be like, oh, I like that guy, rather than, maybe someone who's in Philippines or in India that has their bio looking like,
like
copy and pasted it somewhere and boom, they threw it there. Like, I would rather work with this guy rather than that guy.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's awesome that you're doing that, because a lot of people are kind of fixated on cold calls, cold emailing, like direct messaging, and being really uncomfortable, right? And it's like you're sitting back playing Xbox. Next thing you know, you get this new notification, you got a new client, and now you can start this new conversation with that client. Start them off there, solve that problem, make credibility, show them that you can do what you do. And then basically what he does, guys, is he takes them out of Fiverr, and then now he has them in his own business where he can then upsell them into solving bigger problems, where then he charges retail, and that's where he then brings them into DashClicks. So his value ladder is super unique. Just to kind of give you guys some clarity there, that there isn't just a one way to do things, guys.
Yeah.
Find the way that works for you. There's a million different prospecting ways, guys. And every single week when we bring on agencies, you're going to notice that every single one is different. Yeah. Like, there's no one best way to do this, guys. There's really not. And it's just picking one.
It's just funny. I agree with you 100%. There's people out there that have complete different sales process, different prospecting processes, but guess what? It works. You just got to find out what works and stick with it and double down on it.
Stick to it. Boom. You said it right. It's like,
that works.
Focus. Stop going up the shiny object syndrome. Oh, this guy's got this strategy. This guy's got that strategy. And it's like, guys, you just learned 14 different strategies. Like, how many strategies do you need to learn before you take one?
Yeah.
You need 50 strategies before you pick one? Like, doesn't make any sense to me, but hopefully that kind of just gives people some clarity there. Joseph, kind of just walk us through. So, you start your conversations via Fiverr, and you get most of your lead inquiries from there, correct?
I would say about 60% of them I get from there. The other 40% come from just buying links from bark.com. My retargeting that I have on Facebook, because I don't do any cold Facebook ads. I do only retargeting. So you have to hit my site, know me before you get ads from me, as well as just referrals, of course. And I haven't done this in about 2-3 months, but it used to be door-to-doors as well. But I would say mainly a lot of it comes from Fiverr.
Awesome, man. So you're really leveraging the fact of referrals, because Fiverr is essentially a referral. When you're getting referrals from current clients, that comes in as a referral, which on your behalf, the power of that, it's like, you don't have to build that much trust in you as a person, as an expert. It's like, it's already there because it's a referral. It's like, go contact this guy, Joseph. He's the man. Yeah.
And then you'll be surprised how easy it is to close those people, because they come to you knowing that you're already going to solve the problem. Because when's the last time your friend told you, oh my God, this restaurant's so good? You had intentions that everything you're about to get is going to be really good. So by the time you eat that food, even though it's, it might be good, you're still going to say it's really good, because your intention when you went into it, you already assumed it was going to be really good from all the word of mouth, all your friends telling you. And if another business owner recommends you, saying, hey, John, this guy named Joseph, he got me this much lead, he got me such good results, and I want you to go with him right now, dude. Here's his number. He's going to call you, and literally you just need to present a price and, show him how you're going to solve that problem. And literally, like, every single time I've ever gotten a referral, I've closed them within the first hour. You know, I didn't need a 2-step, you know, because they already sold on what I offer.
Yeah, you don't even need to show them what you do. It's like, I already got the word from this guy that you can do what you can do. Like, how much is it?
Because friends so much that they're willing to take that risk. Like, all right, if he says it works, great, boom, done. So
100%, man. So to just kind of, and this was actually a proven fact that they did, that someone who's coming from a referral buys 30% more.
Oh yeah.
Stays 30% longer than the person who just came from a cold outreach or something like that, because of the amount of trust they already have in your business. So it's like, not only that, but they're not freeloaders. Like, they pay retail. Like, they pay full price for your stuff. They're not asking for a discount. They're not asking for trials. They're asking for, how much is it? Let's freaking do this thing. I'm ready to get the same results as John Doe over there.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome, man. Love it. So how many conversations, and this is like a metric, I guess, that if you don't track, you might have to guess on this, but how many conversations do you think you have with people before you actually get them on a call with you to actually learn about what you do?
I mean, I would probably reach them probably between 5 and 12 times, like a touch point before they even call me. Like, I'll literally, after my first call, voicemail, text them, and I'll send them a video pitch through direct messaging on Facebook, Messenger app, their DMs, everywhere possible, you know, just so make sure that they see my touch points, and they're like, all right, this person obviously cares about us, because you got this one marketing agency who just emailed us a cold email and that's it. But you got this guy who says their real name in a video, explains to them, knowing that, hey, I looked at your business, Joe Schmo Fitness, I like your website, I like this part of your website, you know, just showing that you literally, you know, took a time to understand their business. So, you know, it might not be right now, it might be a few days later, after that week, like 2 weeks. But at one point, they're going to say back, all right, you know, let's hop on a call. I want to see what you have to offer, because you just contacting us so much that I want to know what's up, because, you know, you're sending me all these testimonies, these case studies. You're telling me how to fix certain issues on my website. I mean, you obviously care about my business. All right, let's do business.
Awesome, man. So you mentioned how you do some type, you know, cold emailing, but then you follow up via either direct messages or even show them a video.
Yeah, cold video pitch, you know.
It's amazing. Why? Because it's right there building trust in the person. You're building trust. Not only that, but it's what makes you different. Well, this guy obviously cares about getting my attention and helping my business grow, because he's taking out of his time, his valuable time, right? Our most valuable asset, to record a video to a stranger that he doesn't know, but it's obvious because he's obviously super confident that he can help me.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like, dude, why not? It's like, I wasn't expecting that from Joseph, but like, I like this guy. I don't know why, but I like this guy. Right. Yeah, and so it's like, a lot of people don't understand like how they can differentiate themselves from other agencies. And also another thing too, I hear a lot is like, this is saturated or that is saturated. Well, of course it's saturated because everyone's doing the same stuff. Everyone's sending the same email. You gotta make yourself look different.
You gotta make yourself look different. And that video pitch alone, I'm telling you, try it out, and you're gonna notice, damn, like why is it a lot easier for me to contact somebody now? Like, because you're different, you know, you're putting stuff out there. You know how many emails I get from a video production company saying, hey, you know, I know you're a market agency. Let me know if you need any video production for your clients, you know, for your advertisements. I get those all the time. But yeah, if somebody sends me like a video reel of like my logo in there, like a little quick little like infographic thing about for me to use, I'm like, hold on, like this person's giving some value. Let me contact them back. I like that video. Okay, we contact them back. Hey, can you do this for my clients? You do different. I mean, you might have to put a little bit of your time out there, but I'm guessing you just got to do it. You know, you got to make yourself different, make yourself look different, and make sure that they know that you're there about their business. You're not there just to get that sale. You're there to help them.
100%, man, which is ideally the same psychology around Insta sites, right? It's like you're providing so much value up front. It's like, here's a site that I built from you from scratch. Like I worked really hard on it. And not only that, think about if you overlaid that with your own video. Like that plus Insta site, it's like, boom, it's like an explosion.
So you Loom, you record your software, and it tells you when they view the video. So you know when to follow up with them. You're like, hey, I saw you saw the video yesterday. I just wanted to follow up with you. How'd you like the site? You know, we can always change the name, change some images around, but how'd you like the site? You know, the functionality of it, everything. I mean, it's crazy, you know?
And you can email them to follow up. You can cold call them to follow up, because it's no longer a cold call anymore, right? Because it's now just a follow-up. It's like, hey, I'm just following up. Joe mentioned he was interested. Just trying to reach out to him.
Definitely.
And so at that point, it's no longer that resistance from that front gate, like from that gatekeeper.
Gone now. So
it's like, I already know this guy. We were just having a conversation. It's like, let me get through to him. Let me ask him a few things to make sure it's a right fit for both of us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you know? So love it, man. Love it. A lot of golden nuggets here that I think a lot of people really need to take in consideration to implement in their agency, because a lot of them are skipping these steps and not understanding that they're very crucial to the success of actually getting clients consistently. It's not only that, but keeping them.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Do you use right now currently any type of CRM to keep track of your leads?
Yeah. So I just recently, this past CarrotCon, I purchased Lead Carrot,
Okay.
which a CRM specifically tailored towards marketing agencies and agencies in general, where they can scrape your leads, put them in your funnel. You know, you can create different funnels. Like, okay, this is a cold prospecting funnel. So whenever somebody gives you like the maybe, okay, you know, they really don't know, you drag that prospect in there. And now they have like email drip campaigns, whatever you tailor towards that, you know, cold audience. Like maybe 2 days after they met you, they get a case study. 2 days after that, they get another case study. They get another video testimonial, you know, just to build trust. And then maybe they contact you back saying, hey, let's book a discovery call. You can drag them over your discovery call phase. So now they have all this automation of these email drip campaigns, texting, voicemail drops on, you know, anybody who entered this funnel. So maybe instead of, you know, doing cold video pitches, and also if you offer them, you know, 10% off your first month, because these people are most likely ready to buy relatively soon. And then you put the next one in your hot, you know, the sold funnel, and then that just upsells them saying, hey, you know, your results are doing great. You know, you can have pre-filled little fields that say, you know, the results, you know, you can put it attached to whatever dashboard you have. And I mean, it's a huge CRM that, you know, I just started implementing it, you know, the other day. I'm still finishing building out, but prior to then I didn't really have one. And that was my issue. That was my issue. You know, I got the fulfillment side, you know, nailed down with DashClicks, but yet the sales and prospecting end, you know, it just, you know, I like sales, but at the same time, it's hard for me to like remind myself. I always put it marked in my calendar, but just all that work, I just want to log into somewhere where it tells me, hey, follow up with Joe Schmo right here. 2 days ago, here's all the notes you left from him from the initial call. Boom, here you go. And just having that system set in place, and that's kind of what I'm working on right now, the whole sales and the prospecting and the whole kind of getting from point A to point B, so I can get them from point B to point C, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Because if you break down an agency, it really breaks down to 3 components, which is prospecting, sales, and fulfillment.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
If you're focusing on one of the 3, you're not focusing enough on one of the other ones, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, if you're doing the prospecting, that means you're not doing the sales. And if you're doing the sales, that means you're not doing the prospecting. That means prospecting is at a halt. And then the fulfillment, you got DashClicks doing the fulfillment, so you don't have to worry about that. But even prospecting and sales, if you're going back and forth between those two,
so half the battle.
one of them is like not being done, the other one's being done. It's like you're going back and forth, and you're like on this thing on a seesaw where if you're not in one, your business isn't growing. So the goal is to eventually, obviously, you know, remove yourself. But before you do so, you got to figure out your processes before you actually bring on anybody else. Awesome, man. So you're using a CRM. Now it's going to give you a lot more clarity. Yeah. What does your consultation calls look like? Are you on Zoom? Do you do these via email, direct message? So
I used an app called Calendly. A lot of people use it as well. It's like just a booking software links with your Google Calendar. So you just send them a quick little link. You can create custom links. All right, this link's for a demo call. This link is for a in-house consultation, whatever you want. You can also have it to where they can pay. You know, they do have a paid consultation. But usually what I do is I just, you know, once they book a call, it gets synced in my calendar and it automatically gets synced in my Google Meets. And the thing is, Google Meets is free and it's through the browser. So it makes it just a little bit easier for people since they don't have to download Zoom. They don't have to do all this, you know, setting up process, you know. So they just click on the link and all of a sudden it just opens up a new tab and they just click join meeting and it joins it through their browser. And it's free on top of that. So like none of both sides have to pay for it. And once you're on there, then that's where I just do my onboarding, you know, call where I onboard them. I get the invoice paid. I have their credit card authorization form. You know, I send the DocuSign, their service agreement. It takes 2 seconds to sign. Within 5 minutes, if they go, you know, quickly, within 10 minutes, I can have somebody, you know, signed, closed, and paid within 10 minutes. So it's very important to have that, you know, one-on-one with your face, you know, like a video chat. It's not back on the phone. That used to be back in the 90s, you know, where you have the credit card off the phone. Now people are a little bit worried about that. But yet when you're on person, when you have, you know, they can put a face to your voice. You know, they can see what you're doing. They feel more comfortable giving you that information. It makes it seem like a professional, you know. The top 3 things is being sharp as a tack, a professional, and knowing what the hell you're saying is huge. You know, once they get all 3 of those, it's like when you go to a doctor visit, you know, they come out professional, straightforward, you know, they're not, you know, talking about going out to Pluto and talking about, you know, how was your wedding last, you know, they don't do that. You know, they go there because they want to solve this issue and making sure as satisfied as possible.
Yeah, because no one likes working with an amateur.
Yeah,
right?
nobody else. I'm telling you, within 4 seconds of them meeting you, talking to you, they already know if you're an amateur or not.
Boom.
The 4 seconds of an
And they can see your body language. They know you're a professional. They know who you're about. It's like you're not scared to hide behind a phone.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to hire you.
Yeah, because you're up front, you know, and like, dude, I told clients like that lived in LA, which is like probably 45 minutes away from me. I told them, dude, I'll hop on a car right now and go if you want me to sign it for you. If you want to sign it in person, I'll go right now and drive down there, you know. And they're like, oh no, that's fine. We'll do it right. We'll do it over this, you know. Just telling them, yo, I'm a business guy. I'm gonna solve an issue for you, and I'm a real business. I'm not some like, you know, little business, you know, that just started and I'm faking everything I'm saying. I'm saying, oh, I work with these people when I've never worked with them. You know, you can back up. You can walk the walk, not just talk the talk.
Another thing too, like you don't necessarily need to have done the physical thing. Like for example, if you're using the business model of using a white labeling agency, you don't necessarily need to have done it like the Facebook
my
ad,
team,
Google,
or
you should have the confidence to go out there and you know, offer that as a solution to their problem in confidence where you're like super certain that Facebook ads is going to be the solution for you because of this. This is why it's going to work. Right.
And make it logical with numbers, you know, show them, look, there's your profile right now. This is somebody who I worked with. This much you're getting and this much they're getting out of it. Okay. Do you want this? I mean, put numbers and papers and show them, not just telling them, you know, showing them proof, showing them everything, you know.
And that will come, obviously that will come to, so we got to think about too, those starting out, right? They might not have that. So what they do have is the leverage of confidence. Like, when I'm on sales calls, for example, if you're just going with straight confidence where you're just drilling them with information that's valuable to their business, they're not going to ask you if you just started.
100%.
It just doesn't make sense. It would be an awkward question. It's like, does it sound like I just started, bro? You know, I mean, does it sound like, if it is, like I need to retweak what I'm saying. Obviously, I need to improve.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, 100%.
You get me? It's like, why would you even ask that question if I was just literally, you were just drooling over what I was just telling you about this. You know what I mean? So you're not going to unless he really wants to be that awkward guy. It's like, hey, you know, do you have any testimonials? Like, dude.
Yeah. And that just shows that they haven't really invested in anything in their business yet. Because
not only that, but they don't value what they just talked about. I don't think they're a right fit anyways.
Yeah.
If that's the way they're going to be, like, think about the relationship when they actually do become a client.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you don't even trust me. So I don't even want to have this relationship anyways. Would you want to date someone who doesn't trust you?
Yeah.
No, it's going to be awkward. It's going to be really freaking awkward all the time. So to avoid that, just don't take them on as a client. If they don't buy into your confidence, forget it. Go on to the next one.
Yeah.
Just forget it, right?
I agree.
Awesome, man. So we're almost here. We're almost about an hour. So we want to extend this for too long, and you've given us amazing value. A lot of these agencies really should be taking in consideration a lot of the points that you mentioned, because, you know, these points are extremely crucial to have in your agency, because without them, you're just going to once again blame it on yourself that you're not good enough and all those things. So we want to avoid that. So just talk to us a little bit about, you know, for someone who doesn't have any clients yet, what would you tell them?
I would work on, obviously, if you're not a part of a program that's showing you, like Dash Universities, like if you're using DashClicks and you're already using DashClicks and you're not in Dash U yet, like, what do you like? It's literally teaching you how to use all the software, how to upsell. Like, it's literally a $1,000 course for $1 like it's like $1 for your first 2 weeks, you know. And I would say, if you don't know what you're doing, go to somebody who knows what they're doing, or go to a program that obviously has a proven method of working, and go to it. You know, the best investment you can make is in yourself, and then learn from them. You know, learn how to come off sharp as a tech, learn how to be, you know, confident, learn how to sell your service, learn how to do all this. So when you do go to a meeting, it becomes a lot easier for you to close a client. You know, the more times you go out to the meeting, the more times you get used to it. And after the third or fourth time you go out and speak with somebody, you're like, this really isn't as hard as I first thought. Just going out there and doing it. You know, that's the main part a lot of people always mess up on. They just get lazy. They start playing Xbox, playing Fortnite, you know. But I'm over here like, dude, I made 100 cold calls today. Like, what did you do? Well, I got 100 kills in Fortnite today. I'm like, oh, well, there you go. That's why, you know, my business is doing a lot better than yours.
There you go. So a lot of people, they don't understand why investing in themselves is important. So for those who haven't invested in themselves yet, what is your thought process about investing into yourself, and what does that mean to you, and why? Like, why do you invest in yourself?
Because the thing is, like I said in the beginning, there's always somebody out there who knows something that you don't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's whether it's a 10-year-old kid, somebody, like, there's always something out there that somebody knows that you don't, you know? Whether it's going and just literally spending $10 and getting an audiobook, you know, on sales, you know, Grant Cardone book, Jordan Belfort book, you know, Rich Dad Poor Dad, you know, all these major books, literally 10, 20 bucks can all of a sudden open up your mind. It's like, wait, hold on. I can hire VAs to handle a lot of my work for $2 an hour. I did not know that. And then all of a sudden you're like, let me take that back. Let me implement that with my sales. Now you have a team built for less than $10 an hour that handles all your busy work, all your graphics, your email, you know, your offline communication, helping doing all the onboarding, the Facebook, creating the Facebook pages. It just all of a sudden all you have to worry about is just getting a business on from here to here, and that's it. And everything else is automated. You know, it's kind of like a car. All you have to do is put gas in the car, and somehow it just works. You know, all you have to worry about is putting oil and gas in the car, and that's it. Like,
100%.
You know?
So it's at the end of the day, it comes down to you don't know what you don't know. And like, if you don't invest in yourself, not only that, but consistently, you're gonna fall behind. Those who are investing in themselves consistently are gonna surpass you, whether it's today, tomorrow, or the next day. Because if you're at a standstill, that means you're not evolving. It's like in a video game, you're level 1 forever, right? While I'm going to level 10, prestiging and continuing, right? Same concept there. It's like, if you're not continually refining your blade, you're gonna go dull. And you're just going to get ran over by everybody else.
You're going to assume it doesn't work, and now you're going to say, oh, no, it never works. And all of a sudden they join the
You're going to go try to sell freaking avocado slicers on Shopify.
Yeah, for real.
So, awesome, man. So for someone right now, well, in this case, if you were starting your agency from scratch, what would be the first thing that you would do?
Like I said, I would invest myself. If I didn't know anything about, you know, digital marketing, if I was just freshly new, like I was back in the day, I would go straight and just go into a program or hire a mentor that I can afford and join it, just so it can open up doors, so I can start, you know, opening my brain, thinking like a marketer, thinking like a business owner, thinking like, wait, hold on, you know, this course told me about the CRM thing, but yet this one told me how to do this. Let me put them together, and all of a sudden, oh my God, it works good. Oh, okay, let's keep that there. Okay, let's, you know, building a system that works, you know, knowing that, hey, if I make 18, you know, calls, I'm gonna close one of them. And then now that I know that, you know, once I put them into a CRM, which now all that's automated, and then now the fulfillment is automated, like all I have to worry about is just doing this little part right here. So automating your company and following the system that works and creating a system that works. And on top of that, investing in yourself, reading as much as possible on whatever industry you're in, with digital marketing, insurance, creating a gym, whatever it is. You know, going out there and learning, you know, putting yourself out there, not just sitting back and just thinking that you know everything, you know, because ego is the best enemy. You know, ego is literally the worst enemy you can have. Your ego tells you, oh, no, I know that. I don't need to watch a YouTube video about how to do sales because I already know sales. I've read a Grant Cardone book before. You know, I'm good. Dude, it's free. Click on it. Watch it. You know what I mean? You might learn something from it that might change your life. So it's crazy.
100%, man. So it comes down to investing in yourself, building systems. And if you don't know how to build the systems, ask the right questions and learn.
Don't let your ego get the best of you.
Boom. Awesome, man. And right now, starting out, when you were first starting out, what was your biggest struggle and what did you do to overcome it?
It was most definitely the fulfillment side of it, because I would literally be on the hunter mentality. I know people know the hunter and the farmer mentality. The hunter goes out there whenever he wants to eat, he has to kill that day, you know, but yet the farmer, he farms it, you know what I mean? So after, you know, he can eat this, but yet this is growing. So by the time he's done finished eating this is already fully grown to eat again. You know, it's like a farmer mentality, but yet, you know, I used to be in a hunter mentality where I didn't really get that good results. I couldn't do the fulfillment end of it. So at the end of every month, I used to always lose a client, get a new client. And it's like, it was just a cycle. I couldn't get past the 2-3 clients a month mark. Like I couldn't. So then, you know, DashClicks was like, solved the most biggest issue I had, because the whole prospect on the sales side, like I think I'm decent. So I'm not saying the best, but I love it. I like it. You know, that's my favorite part. So that's what I worry about. But the rest of the other end, that and what's I just couldn't really do that good on. So thank God I found DashClicks and solved that issue, because that issue was like 80% of my problems.
Love it. Because the 80-20 rule, right? That 20% where you're focusing on sales is producing the 80% of the
revenue.
results.
Yeah.
And ideally, what you've done is you've mastered, you know, the different components of your agency and you've realized that you can't do all of it yourself.
Yeah.
Now what you've done is you've made an actual team or a system around each of those components where you're now starting to see a nice wheel turning every single, you know, month, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Love it, man. So realistically, where do you see yourself in 3 months revenue wise?
My goal honestly is in the next 6 months. I told myself in the summer of next year, you know, I have a bi-yearly and a yearly goal for my business. You know, the bi-yearly one next year. I remember last year we did $108,000 in income. This year we're looking between $200,000 and $250,000. And I would just say, you know, going from the $25,000 a month to around the 40,000. You know, because now once I have the system set in place, it's just a numbers game. You know, I'm just gonna hire a fat sales team, you know, and just follow what works for me. And you know, you put $1 in, you get $10 out. Awesome, making $9 profit for every $1 I may put in. So I would see myself, and my goal is probably doing between the $35,000 and $40,000 mark. So an extra 10, 15 grand.
Okay. And you mentioned a sales team as one of the different variables that you're going to be changing. Yeah. What else needs to change within the next 3 months to hit that goal?
Definitely automating the outreach and the sales side with the CRM that I mentioned. Definitely implementing that, seeing how that works out and tweaking anything I need to tweak. Just so the only thing I need to do every single day is cold call, email, video pitch, you know, doing the whole outreach. And then just any lead that comes in that's real, just plug them into whatever funnel that is, and everything else just falls in place.
Awesome, man. Love it. And what right now do you think and you believe is your biggest struggle in your business right now?
I would say definitely like the back end of sales, following up and staying in touch. And obviously not coming off as too much of a salesy person. That's my probably biggest issue I have right now.
Which is basically what you've done is you've purchased the CRM where you're going to kind of help yourself basically do the things that you aren't very good at keeping yourself accountable for.
Yeah, because me having to create a testimonial email real quick, all right, cool, because I didn't really have templates, you know, also I had every single one of them I had to create myself, and sometimes I'm just like, that client was only for $1,200, I'm just whatever, I forget about him, and then move on to the next guy, and then it's like, you know, you know, what happened to that client? I would have gotten for $1,200 a month, but yet now if I would have upsold them like I would have been doing now, that client would have been a $3,000-$4,000 client, you know? So it's just automating the tedious work of sales. I would say, like writing the emails, the proposals, the case study stuff, you know, things like that. That is like where I get lazy. So
100%. Another thing to kind of add to that, to kind of give you some feedback to get to your goal quicker, is figuring out how you can multiply what's already working. So for you right now, it's Fiverr, right? So maybe creating other Fiverr accounts. I don't even know if that's possible, but maybe creating multiple Fiverr marketing accounts where you can promote the exact same offer. Right. And positioning yourself as a Fiverr expert or marketing expert in different industries. Yeah. Right. Where you can cross promote yourself when you're really the same account, but you're offering different variables. Yeah, niche solving different problems.
I kind of tested that out because I had a general, you know, I'll manage your Facebook ads, but yet I think about a month ago I put out one that says I'll manage your real estate Facebook ads.
Boom.
And then, I mean, because nobody else is doing that.
Yeah. So think about that. Like your strategy right now is working. So my thing is, it's like, what's working, multiply it. Because why not?
Definitely.
I mean, it's unless you've milked it out to the point where you physically cannot go more in that platform.
Definitely way more volume out there. I can definitely.
So much opportunity. You can create multiple ad accounts. You can have someone else create an ad account, a Fiverr account for you with the same exact structure, same exact everything. Maybe tweak a few things, niche it down, and then all of a sudden you've opened up the floodgates to all these other keyword search terms.
Yeah, definitely.
You get me? So going that route as well as also figuring out your sales aspect of things. So if right now you're doing the sales, right, make sure that every sales call you're doing, you're recording it. So record every sales call that you're doing. Not only that, but write yourself a script. For my team, I've written a script and I've also recorded my own sales calls so I can delegate it to them. And they can see, not only can they see me actually perform it, but they can see my tone. They can see how I'm actually executing on it. They can see how I'm asking questions so I can give them the confidence so that when they do it themselves, they have something to compare to. And now guess what? I don't have to do the sales calls anymore. Now I'm on a call with you while my team is doing the sales calls. So that's the power of building systems. That's the power of knowing each component of your business. Because if you can get that down and documented, guess what? You can easily replace yourself and put someone who can you just put in there. And all you got to do is literally sit back and watch while they go through your trainings and your stuff. and just audit a few things. Like, hey, just right here, you know, and the training it says to do this, just make sure you're doing it like this. What you did was this, like just, you know, compare, and then boom, they get better. And next thing you know, bro, you're literally stepping back from your business, and now you have your prospecting on autopilot. Oh, yeah. You've got your sales on autopilot, and you've got your fulfillment on autopilot, and now you can step back, and guess what? You can say that you have now. Yeah. You actually have a business. Yeah, you have a real business that works. If you can't remove yourself, you don't have a business. You have a high-paying freelancing job. That's literally what, 100%. You have a very high-paying job. If you're making $200K, but you can't remove yourself, guess what? You don't have a business, unfortunately. Definitely. You're getting paid very well. You might have the nice cars, a nice house, but you don't have a business, unfortunately. No one's going to buy it. You can't travel for longer than like 3, 4, 5 days. And then no investor is going to be like, you know what, Joseph? Let's do it. I want to invest my money into your business. It's not like a Chick-fil-A. Think about why people invest into Chick-fil-A, because it's all done for you. The systems, the people, everything. Like, done. Here you go. Take it. It's done. Right? So that's right there. I think the biggest takeaway for you is like, you're almost there. It's now just optimizing your current processes, multiplying what's working. Don't even add any extra legs if you don't need to. Yeah. Like multiply your fiber game right now. You're mastering that, pioneering that, maximize, and then multiply. And then delegate it to hire someone to even do the fiber stuff for you. Yeah. On how to do that. And all that. Yeah. And then boom, like literally you're just the CEO of this company now. Yeah. Because right now you're not. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. You know, so you're almost there, and I think that's the next level for you. And once you can basically maximize on those three legs of your business, bro, you're gonna easily surpass 50 to 100K per month. Honestly, surpass 100K per month. Different ways and how I can multiply that fiber side. Awesome, man, love it. So to conclude here, man, we truly appreciate you jumping on this call with us today, man. This was an amazing episode of Dash University. Agency Spotlight. So before we go, I want to ask you some quick rapid fire questions. And these questions are just super fun questions that I'm going to ask you. Give me 2 seconds here while I pull them up. But basically, the first question is, what is your favorite business book that you have read? The Way of the Wolf by Jordan Belfort. Easily. Boom. Get an audiobook. That's my favorite. He reads it himself, so it comes off even more better with his tonality, with exactly how he wants to say it. Just Jordan Belfort, by far my favorite author, my favorite salesperson. He's amazing. Awesome. Are you a coffee or a tea person? Coffee. Awesome. What's your favorite hobby when you're not working? Playing video games. It's been my blood. It's been my thing. It sucks. Sometimes it gets the best of me, and I'll play it like I'll have my lunch while I'm playing it. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, I can't do this during my work. You know what I mean? But video games is like when I get home, you know, I'll definitely hop on my computer, play some Counter-Strike, some Call of Duty, things like that. But that's my main love that hobby. Counter-Strike, Call of Duty type of guy. All right. Yeah. Awesome, man. What is your favorite online tool right now for building your business? DashClicks. Oh, we can't get any better than that. How many hours of sleep do you get per night? I try at least 8, between 7 and 9, depending on like if it's a weekend, you know, if I can sleep in, it's 9, but ideally 7 to 8. That's my thing. Awesome, man. And right now, how old are you? 20. I'm turning 23 in December, so 22 right now. Boom, boom. Awesome, man. And right now, if you were to start your agency all over again, what would be the one thing you would do differently? I would say getting a system set in place or a team behind you as soon as possible. Boom. And there you have it, guys. So you have Joe Ruiz at Dash University here on our Agency Spotlight Live. This was an amazing episode. Joseph is killing it in the agency space. He has approximately around 22 or 23 clients. He has a super unique prospecting strategy on Fiverr, which is something super unique, makes him different. He has an amazing system in place. He's now going to optimize his sales process in order for him to get himself to, you know, the 40 to 50K mark. He is on his way. He's awesome. He's doing an amazing job at the moment. All he needs to do is tweak a few things, but next thing you know, when we reach back out to him, he should be at his 50K mark because he is literally almost there, guys, as we can see that. So, guys, thank you so much for taking a part of this. Thank you so much, Joseph, again, for being a part of this. And we are super excited to see where you take your business to on the next level, man. I look forward to it. Awesome, man. You have a great rest of your day, all right? All right. Thank you. Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.